Hi my loves and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be this black subtle smoky eye makeup tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't. And a happy new year by the way. So I'm starting off with prepping my skin using this Porefessional primer just so that my foundation will sit nice and evenly. So for foundation, I'm using the Estee Lauder DoubleWear foundation in shade 2N1 Shell Beige. And I'm using this oval brush from New Fashion Trend Shop. I love the oval brushes because they allow you to apply your foundation really quickly. And they give a flawless and smooth finish, the same way that a beauty blender would. So yeah, they're my go-to when I'm in a rush, especially for foundation. For my brows, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown and this angled brush from Vanity Planet and just filling them in. My eyebrows were a huge mess this day, so I did the best I could, but they still don't look the way I would like them to look. And then moving on to the eyes, I primed the eyes using this NYX Eye Primer, and then I set it with some translucent powder. This will give it even base for me to apply the eyeshadow. For the eyeshadow, I'm using this gorgeous palette by Henna Kaan. I do have a discount code for this, so I'll leave it down below. But it's gorgeous with smoky and subtle and very glam eyes. It's got so many shades in there. So I'm starting off with this light brown warm colour. And I'm just applying that onto the crease and mapping out where my where the shadow on my lid is going to go and where I'm going to warm up the crease. Keep going back to the palette and then just adding more rather than going in with a huge amount to begin with. And then I'm taking this slightly darker brown and building it into the crease. The brushes that I'm using are the SK Artistry brushes. I'm then taking this burnt orange and applying it to the upper half of my eyelid and blending it in to the crease as well. And then I'm going to take this gorgeous burgundy red colour and apply it to the lower half of my lid. Just pack it on. And then I'm taking a clean blending brush and blending everything together. This brush is from Vanity Planet, and by blending everything out I can see whether I need to add in anything and I can get rid of any harsh lines. I'm just setting the brow bone as well using the lightest cream / white shade from the same Henna Kaan palette. I'm taking the lighter brown again and going back into the crease just because once I blended everything out I realised I wanted it to look a little bit darker. I'm then taking this warm orange colour from the palette and adding that into my crease and using it as a transition colour from the brown to the burnt orange that I added before. And I'm going back in with the darkest brown and just really defining that crease. And then I will blend everything out. So for the smokiness, I'm taking this angled brush, which I love. I think it's an eyeliner brush, but I used it with the shadow from the Henna Kaan palette. The shadow is so pigmented that I could have just left this black and it would have looked like eyeliner. But I went in, did a line as though it was eyeliner, and then took a flat eyeshadow brush and blended everything out. I carried on blending until literally the shadow on the liner line was really faded. And then I went back in and redrew the line and blended it out again. I did this 3 times because what this will do is it will create a gradient effect. So you've got the darker shadow closer to the line and it smokes out as it goes up. The more times you do it, the better the effect will look. But like I said, I did it about 3 times on each eyelid. And then for lashes, I'm using these Safina Kaan Artistry lashes. I will leave the link for these down below as well. Now for the rest of the face, I'm going to rush through this a little bit just because you guys have seen me do this so many times. But for highlighter, I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in shade Nude. So under the eyes, bridge of my nose, forehead and Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and blend all of it out. I think my ring light was too close to my camera, which is why it's so bright and you can't actually see the concealer in some parts. And next time I need to remember to put that back a little bit. But then I'm just setting that in place using this translucent loose powder from Kat Von D. Looks like little snowflakes, but it's not, it's the powder. And then I'm taking the sleek contour palette in dark, and I'm taking the darkest shade and I'm using this oval brush from New Fashion Trend Shop again, and just lining up everywhere that I want to contour. So cheekbones, forehead, size of my nose and in my cupid's bow. I'm then taking this contour brush from Real Techniques, which I've had forever and I haven't really used it before, but I'm swearing by this to do my contour at the moment. It works really well because it really fits into the hollows of my cheek. But I'm just using that to blend out the cream contour. I'm going to then dust away the translucent powder. Didn't bake it for too long, just left it on there for like 5 minutes or so. And this should help my concealer stay in place all day. And then I'm using the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D and then going in and setting the cream contour in place. I'm using the Real Techniques brush to do that. I kind of try and look straight on at the mirror when I'm doing my cheek contour because this helps both sides to be even. And then my nose, and I'll obviously go and do the top of my head and my cupid's bow as well. I'm taking the burgundy shade and just going in with the flat eyeshadow brush, adding it to my lower lash line. Just to kind of close off the eyes and add a pop of colour underneath, I guess. For highlighter, I'm using this Pure Colour highlighter from New Look. Guys, I absolutely love this. It's so gorgeous. This is from the old range. They actually have a new range, and the highlighter in the new range is even nicer than this one. So yeah, I would highly recommend you guys go and get it. For blusher, I'm using this blush by 3 Kit from Sleek. I'm going to take the orange and pink shades. So I'll go in very heavy-handed with the orange shade. This is my absolute favourite. It's my go-to blush. I use it all the time and I think it works really well on Asian skin tones. But I am adding a little bit of pink today just because I wanted the blush to kind of match the colours of the eyeshadow that I've done. I'm then just taking a clean makeup brush, making sure that everything is blended out properly. For lips, I'm using the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Lola. My lips are extremely dry. It's because I've been ill recently, and regardless of how much I moisturize them, whenever I'm sick, they just go really dry, so it's not very nice. I am going to clean up underneath my lower lip as well, just so that the lipstick is more defined and the lips look more prominent, and I'm just doing that using highlighter, beauty blender, and some setting powder. And then finally, I'm finishing off the look using this MAC lipstick in Yash because I prefer a more nudie lip. And this is the finished look. Let me know what you guys think below. Let me know what other kind of makeup tutorials you want to see. I want to start doing a lot more of them this year.